The views and opinions expressed in this broadcast do not necessarily reflect or represent the views and opinions of WBGR Network.
If you're a product of the 60s, 70s, and 80s, or wish that you were, then you'll want to step inside Hip Gypsy Emporium for a trip back in time. We're a kindred spirits treasure trove located in the former Duffield School in Chambersburg. We offer home, garden, and vintage clothing and jewelry, soaps and fragrances, teas and honeys, oils and crystals, products from local vendors and artisans, and Christmas items 365 days a year. Hip Gypsy Emporium, located at 2168 Mont Alto Road in Chambersburg.
Good morning, everyone, to Connecting to Spirit with Stacy. My name is Stacy Niedenthal, and I am your host today. Sorry, right off the bat, I lose my voice. But I'm your host today. My name is Stacy. I am a spiritual healer. I am a psychic medium. I'm a shaman, and I am a child of God. And I'm doing this show to give you an education on how to connect spiritually, how to have that oneness and connect with the universe. So today we're going to talk about manifesting, and I'm really excited about talking about manifesting. It's something a lot of people talk to me about, and although the process is difficult, it is also very easy once you sit back and you think about it. So we do have a call-in number if you want to call in. It's 301-429-9247. But if you have any questions about that. So first of all, let's talk about what is manifestation. Manifestation is that public display of emotions made by your feelings that you're giving to the universe so that it's made so. That's what manifesting is. So how do you manifest? How do you put it into action? It's unleashing the potential of the power of your mind so that materializes into the desire of your life. It's that law of attraction. We've all heard about law of attraction. You receive what you give out in the universe. Okay, so big question. How do you manifest? First of all, you need to get a clear mind. You want to think about what do you truly want. And you need to be kind of specific about it. If you just think, I want $1 million, you're not manifesting. That's just wishing and dreaming. So you get clear in your mind of what you want. And then you ask the universe for direction. After you ask for the universe for direction, then you work towards your goals. You receive and you acknowledge the things that you receive, that you get. You keep your vibration high and you clear the resistance. Okay, so what all does that mean? When you clear the resistance, that's what's going to keep your vibration high. Clearing the resistance is getting rid of the I can'ts. I never, I don't deserve. That's clearing your resistance. So you need to get clear in your mind of the things that you want. So when we were talking about, when I just said about, if you just say, oh, I want $1 million, that's a wish. That's not getting clear in your mind. So if you have this dream job and you just say, I want to make $1 million, you may get that dream job, but it may come with stress. It may come with never seeing your family. So you need to think about how you want to feel, how you visualize it, and how you want it to materialize. So how do you know when it's coming? You get that gut feeling. You just know that you know that you know that it's coming. You set your intentions and you just feel it deep inside. When you start to feel things coming, you start to see other people, how they manifest things. You start to see them receive things. And then that's just that validation to yourself that, well, if they can receive it, so can I. You start to see signs. Some people call them angel numbers, where you see 1111, 222, 333, where you see consecutive, maybe the day of your birth, where you're seeing it all the time. I call those God winks. But you start to see signs. In your gut, you feel like, I already have this. And then those synchronicities start coming. I talk a lot about my husband, Jeff. He's one of the biggest manifestors that I know. And he will say to me, and I talked the last time about the pellet stove, so I'll tell you another, for instance. We wanted to get an RV. And he said to me, I'm going to find an RV within the year. It's going to cost less than this. Watch me do it. And he did. He knew it was already given to him. He asked, he believed, he focused, he received. So manifesting is that positive energy. It's saying, I am. Okay? Instead of saying, I can't, it never, I am. I am receiving. I am going to have. I am working towards. And the power behind just those two words, I am, you're bringing yourself into it and you're stating a fact. But when you think about God, the creator, the universe, who is God? The I am, the beginning and the end. So not only are you giving strength and power to yourself, you're bringing God and the universe into it. So you're changing the way you talk. You're changing the way you think. And that's what's making it so. Right? So why should you care about manifesting? Why is it a big deal? Because you can manifest anything you focus your actions towards. Here's the catch. Sometimes you manifest things that you don't necessarily want, and you're unaware that you're doing it because what you create in your mind, what you say, what you think, that's what you receive. So some of us are unaware that we're manifesting the wrong things in our life. If you say, I always have bad luck. Things never work out for me. Boy, I wish I could have. You're telling the universe, you're telling yourself, you're telling your spirit, I never receive. I'm unworthy. So you need to change those thought patterns. You need to change your actions. And when you think about the universe, within the universe, there's an energy field. Everything is energy. The lights are energy. The table is energy. Everything has molecules. Everything has energy to it. And they interact with themselves. And what matters is that it exists. And that 100% of the time, it's consistently dependable when you create what you want and desire and you make it into reality. So what you say, what you think, what you do, that's your reality. So if you are constantly driving and you don't have a driver's license, you don't have insurance, you're afraid you're going to get pulled over because you are breaking the law, guess what? It's going to happen. Eventually, it's going to happen. So you need to put your actions, you need to think, feel, and breathe the way you want the universe to respond to you. So when you choose the right thoughts, that's what helps you to accomplish your dreams. That's what keeps you in touch with your emotions. So when you think about when we're born, naturally we're born to create. And I know that sounds like a little bit of a bold statement. We're born to create. But think about it. You give a toddler blocks, what do? They create a tower. You give a kid crayons and a pencil. They create something. We're always creating something. You give a woman makeup, she creates the face. A hairbrush, you know what I mean? You give, you put blocks, blueprints. We create. We are creative people. So what we need to work on is not just necessarily creating the material things. In ourselves, we need to create our soul purpose. And our soul purpose, it's to experience love. We all want to feel love. We all want to give love. We all want to be love. So when you do the best that you can with the knowledge that you have, in love, you're creating love. You're creating love. So it's that thing of looking forward and creating the things that you love. So to do that, we will need to learn how to control our life, to control our destiny, to manifest those things which we so desire in our life. We don't desire to struggle day to day and live paycheck to paycheck. We accept it. We allow it to happen. We need to put things in the path to make that change. And I'll give you a couple examples. So back in 1995, there was a man who did the long jump. and he jumped 11 and a half feet. So in 1995, he jumped 11 and a half feet. That record wasn't broken until, I think it was, June 11th, 2018. What is that, 13 years of it not being broken? So why do you think it wasn't broken? Because everybody in their head who was doing the long jump knew what the record was, knew that it was difficult to break the record, and had already defeated themselves before they even got up, to jump. So there was a young man-child, he's 19 years old. In 2018, he breaks this record. Now, when you think about breaking records, you think, okay, well, if I jump 12 feet, I've broken it. Well, he jumped more than 12 feet. He jumped more than 13 feet. He jumped more than 14 feet. This 19-year-old manifested a jump of 29 feet. I mean, holy cow. I can't even fathom what 29 feet is, right? So his past thoughts didn't stop him. He saw what he had to do. He visualized it. He focused it. He worked on it. I'm sure it wasn't the very first jump that he did. He had to practice and get better and better. So he put his focus, he asked for advice from coaches, and he did it. He broke that record. The other example, which still amazes me, in 1903, the Wright brothers created a piece of machinery to fly. Now, what in the world were these people thinking? I'm going to take this hunk of metal and I'm going to fly in the air. They manifested flight. When I sit in an airplane now, I think to myself, oh my gosh, how's this plane of, I don't know how many tons, going to fly 10, 15, 20,000 feet? Not just the actual machinery. It has people in it. It has luggage in it. It has food. Like, they manifested it. They made it so. It's that dream. It's that focusing on what you want to accomplish, asking the universe, and putting it into action. Will you get it the very first time? Nope. Sometimes you have to sway off the path a little bit. But you manifest it. You keep it in your heart center where that love comes from, and you make it happen. So we all have free will. We can do it or not do it. But don't allow your life to be governed by your past memories, your past mistakes. Your past is kind of like the software of your soul. So when you think you don't deserve something, that software in your soul is going, she does not deserve it. She will not receive it. So you need to rewire that software. So how do you rewire your software? You focus. You meditate. You take that minute and you think about, what do I want? So Deepak Chopra is one of the people that I follow. When he talks about manifesting, when he talks about meditation, it just clicks with me. And there are going to be different people that are going to click with you. Hopefully I'm one of those people that click with you. But Deepak Chopra, he said, knowing that you can create anything you desire can spoil you. So what you need to do is you need to have a soul profile. Okay? So what you want to do is you want to ask yourself questions and you want to journal it. Anybody who knows me, anyone that's taking any of my mentorship classes, knows I am big on journaling. Heck, my journal I have right now says her greatest power was believing in herself. So every time I open this journal, it reminds me, I need to believe in me. So what are you asking yourself? So questions you want to ask yourself, think about them and honestly answer them. What makes me joyful? What's going to bring me joy? What's going to make me happy? What's my purpose for being here? And we may have different purposes. We don't need to have the end-all be-all purpose because your life purpose could change from time to time. Okay? What do I want to contribute to the world? If you are manifesting something, wouldn't you want it to contribute to the world? Who are my role models and why? My husband and I were talking on the drive here. When you think about different role models, different people that we all know now. I mean, Jim Carrey, when he was a kid, he told his dad, one of these days I'm going to be able to write a check, and I think it was for $1 million. And he wrote the check out, and he carried that with him forever. When his father passed away, he put that check, it was cashable, in his dad's lapel. But he visualized it. He knew what he was going to do. Madonna, when she was young, and she was on, I don't know if it was American Bandstand, what do you want to do? I want to rule the world. Everybody in the world knows who Madonna is. Prince. You know, for a while, Prince just went by a symbol, but we all knew who he was. He had that vision. He put it into action. It was hard work behind it, but nothing was going to stop him. So think about who your role models are. Think about people who do things that they say they're going to do. What kind of relationships nurture you? And this is a big thing to ask yourself. Who do you want in your tribe? Who nurtures you? If you constantly have people around you that are just about them, that are telling you you can't do anything, they are not the people to have in your tribe. You want people who are going to nurture you and go, well, good luck, go for it, you know? What qualities do I admire in others? What do I offer in relationships? If you're that person that only talks about yourself and you're that person who is always negative, then you're going to attract what you're sending out. So you need to question these things. And there are peaks of our life that we have had that we felt good. So ask yourself, how did I feel at that peak of my life? How can I serve humanity? And once you start to ask yourself these questions, you're starting on this spiritual journey, and you're going to start to notice that growth and support is just automatically going to be put in your path to make things happen. When I first opened up to spiritualism and was communicating with those who had passed, I had asked God before, if this is what you want me to do, like, you've got to show me signs. I remember one time I was driving down the road having a conversation with God and said, look, I need a clear sign. I feel like I'm on the right path, but I need a sign. And you know how developments have those signs that tells you, you know, what housing development you're in. So I'm driving down the road and there's a sign that says Spirit Way. I knew that was my sign letting me know I'm on the right path, okay? So ask yourself what makes you joyful. How can you contribute to the world? Who are my role models? What type of relationships nurture me? What do I have to offer in a relationship? What are qualities that I admire in other people? How do I feel when I'm at the peak of what I'm doing, when what I've been putting in place happens? What can I do to serve humanity? And then just watch it start to bloom. It will start to come in place, but you have to have that honest talk with yourself and get rid of some of the things like the negative talk. And there's a caution behind manifesting. There's a huge caution behind manifesting, because greed, overindulgence, if you're unstable, if there's a lot of chaos in your life, if you're delusional, you know, you can manifest the wrong things. You know, you think about some of these serial killers out there. My God, what were they manifesting? What were they thinking about? That's not what you want to manifest. That's not what's making you joyful. That's not contributing to the world, okay? So watch, take that check in what, if you're being greedy. You don't need a job that pays you $1 million. You need a job that's going to make you comfortable, that makes you joyful, that helps you contribute to others, that makes you feel good. So how do you do that? All right, so there's a couple steps that you can do. And first, the first step that you want to do is you want to ask for guidance. And guidance comes through prayer and meditation. Bring awareness to that heart center. Ask yourself, what do I really, really want? If location, if money, if time were no object, what do I really see myself doing? When I was a kid, I always said, that I was going to write a book. And I've worked on books and put them away and worked on books and put them away. It didn't fall into place. But now, like, I've got the rough draft. I had a rough draft and a rough draft, and now I just have the rough draft. And it's coming into completion of what the book is because I visualize it. I can see it. I can sense it. I know what it is. Ask your friends. If you're confused, ask your friends, what am I really good at? What's something that you think I would be really good at? What do you always see me doing? And they'll give you ideas. You know, I have friends that are very good at nurturing others. You're a nurturer. You know, maybe you should be in the healthcare industry. Nurturing. You're a good idea person. Maybe you should be in promotions. Ask, think, meditate, pray. Okay? That's just step number 1. I'm so excited about talking about manifesting. Can you tell? So after you ask for guidance, focus all of your attention on changing your energy to put yourself in the right direction. I am doing. I am receiving. I am becoming. There are intention boards that you can make. You know, maybe your intention is a little cabin in the woods. Go through some magazines. Cut pictures out of the cabin. Put it on the board. How do I get there? Oh, yellow brick road. You know, whatever you see. And put around it joy, family, strength, new job. Whatever you visualize getting yourself into this home. Then set your intentions. Remember, what you give attention to, that's what you manifest. So here's where the tricky part is. Let's say you have problems with your knee and you have this pain in your knee and all you're focused on is the pain in your knee. You don't want to focus the pain on your knee. You don't want to say, I wish this pain in my knee would go away. You want to say, I am walking freely. I am visualizing myself walking part of the Appalachian Trail. I am seeing myself bending down on the floor with my kids, with my grandchildren, and getting up with ease. So see, what you're doing is you're taking the focus off the pain and you're putting the focus on the end result. I am seeing. I am receiving. I am feeling. I am doing. So you're taking the focus off the pain that is stopping you from seeing, doing, okay? So that's kind of the hard part, and it takes patience. So then what you want to do is you want to release your desire into the universe. And how do you do that? You do that in meditating. So when you meditate, that's the I am part. You can meditate. There's several meditations on YouTube. You can do shower meditations where you visualize the water coming over you is getting rid of anything that's negative around you. The water that's coming down you is healing your legs so that I am healing. Okay? So it is putting that out into the universe. So it is, so it will be. Because we become what we focus on. Law of attraction. Okay? So the thing with that is you need to detach yourself from what the outcome is. And this is that muscle memory thing. Well, you know, I've been saying I am walking freely for 3 days and I'm not walking freely. So I guess it's not working. If you have had issues with your knee for 3 years, it may not heal in 3 days. You have to detach yourself from the outcome and have faith. Know that there is a greater energy out there that is going to take care of everything for you. You just have to have faith. Walk by faith, not by sight. That's step 6, practicing patience. Because with patience, know that you can't rush greatness. Rome wasn't built in a day. How many times have you heard that? Your path is being built for you. And there's a greater resource than you that is building it for you. So allow the universe to do these things for you. Visualize it, ask, and receive. And then you want to learn the acceptance. When you receive even the small things, be thankful. You go to bed at night and you go, man, I walked pretty easily today. Thank you. And I know tomorrow's going to be better. It's that learning to accept it, looking for those little things that are taking you on your path of manifesting. And manifestation can be such a spiritual thing. It can open up so many different things for you, but you have to be willing to allow them to come in. So when you're willing to allow them to come in, it's if someone asks, do you need help with something? Allow them to help you. Don't just say, nope, I got it. God wants to help you. He puts people in your path for a reason. To me, there's no such thing as coincidence. You know, there's hope, but there's not hope. Your hope. It's your actions. It's what you say, what you do, what you feel, the passion that you have. You can conquer the world. You can conquer whatever you want to. You just have to want to. And it's changing that thought pattern of, you know, I'm 55 years old. You know, things have always been a certain way for me. Well, sometimes I have to look at, well, maybe it's not going to be that way anymore. I have to change the way I think. It can't be the same old way. I remember, and I don't remember which grandmother it was. I'm sure my sister would know, and I know Lori's on here. I don't know if it was my grandmother Breckville or my grandmother Hall that would always say, hide and see. I think it was my grandmother Hall. And, you know, and I never really understood that as a kid, you know, hide and see. What do you mean? I thought she was saying hide and seek. But she would say something was going to happen. I know it was my grandmother Hall now that I'm thinking about it. She was such a dedicated prayer. She was such a spiritual woman. And she would say, "This, I'm going to make this happen, and this is going to be so. You just hide and see. You just watch." And it came to me later, you know, when someone's doing something and you hear them, you say to yourself, "Man, I'd like to be a mouse, you know, mouse in the corner when that goes down." That's that hide and see. Watch me. You can't stop me. If this is something I'm passionate about, then I'm going to do it. Abe Lincoln failed how many times before he was president of the United States? We all fail. We learn lessons. We move forward. That's manifesting. And once you start to manifest, you will find fulfillment in it where, like, it's just second nature anymore. The universe will just start to put things exactly where you need it. And sometimes there are speed bumps that are going to slow you down. So sometimes you have to slow down. But when you manifest and you think about it and you focus and you put it into action and you line your mouth up by bringing in I am instead of I can't, and then you allow the universe to do what it needs to do, oh my gosh, the things that you will accomplish can be unbelievable. And there's so many examples of that. You know, the man-child, the 19-year-old man-child that broke that long jump record. You know, he just didn't do it a little. He went, you know, go big or go home. He did it. My sister just said, yep, it was Grandma Hall. I knew she would know. But, you know, when you think about where you are today versus where you were 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 20 years ago, depending on how old you are you at the same place that you were then? Are you where you want to be? Because if you're not, you need to manifest what you want. And we're going to talk a little bit more about that when we come back after this break. I do have a call-in, 301-429-9247. If you have any questions about manifesting, I would love to have a chat with you and talk to you about it. But we're going to come back here in a minute, so watch this commercial.
If you're a product of the 60s, 70s, and 80s, or wish that you were, then you'll want to step inside Hip Gypsy Emporium for a trip back in time. We're a kindred spirits treasure trove located in the former Duffield School in Chambersburg. We offer home, garden, and vintage clothing and jewelry, soaps and fragrances, teas and honeys, oils and crystals, products from local vendors and artisans, and Christmas items 365 days a year. Hip Gypsy Emporium, located at 2168 Mont Alto Road in Chambersburg. If you're a product of the 60s, 70s, and 80s, or wish that you
Now I'm
were,
back
then
on.
you'll want to step inside
It was red and then it was
Gypsy
green and now it's
Emporium
red.
for a trip back in time. We're a kindred spirits treasure trove located in the former Duffield School in Chambersburg. We offer home, garden,
red.
and vintage clothing and jewelry, soaps and fragrances,
I'm still
teas
getting
and
this
honeys,
down right.
oils
I
and
need to
crystals,
manifest
products
to
from local vendors and
understand,
artisans,
like,
and
the
Christmas
red and
items
the green symbol on
365
here.
days a year.
So anyway,
Hip Gypsy
we're
Emporium,
back. My name is
located at
Stacey
2168 Mont Alto Road
And
in Chambersburg.
I am a child of God. I'm a spiritual healer, and I'm a shaman, and I've been given a gift from God to channel spirit using love and light. And during this, I have been able to help people spiritually manifest those things that help them and allow them to get closure. And that's what we're talking about today. We're talking about manifestation. We're talking about how do you manifest. And manifesting is bringing your thoughts and your emotions into reality and making it so. It's that potential of putting your power, unleashing your power into the universe, what your desire is, and making it happen. So we talked about some different steps and some different things that you can do. And I just wanted to just talk to you a little bit about things that it's kind of hard to put into words sometimes of how to manifest things. So, I mean, I explained the process. Here's where I need to go. Okay, I have it now. Sorry, live. Sometimes it's that bright, shiny object. So when you think about where you are today versus where you were a couple years ago, okay? So Einstein says the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over again and expecting a different outcome. So, if you're constantly doing the same thing and you are receiving the same answer and it's not the answer that you want, you need to change something. So start to look at what your spin cycle is. And your spin cycle is things that you do over and over and over again the same exact way, and you receive the same results. So, let's say you want to manifest the man of your dreams. We'll go there. So, you want to focus on the man of your dreams. If you just focus on what he looks like, what kind of car he drives, what kind of job he has, you could manifest the man of your dreams. The way he looks, the car he drives, the money he makes. But you're not manifesting what his spirit is. How does he make me feel? What do I contribute to this relationship? Can I visualize making a home with him? Can I trust him? Can I rely on him? So you just can't visualize what the man of your dreams is going to look like. You have to visualize thought, feelings, emotions, all of that together. Because your ideal man may be this tall and not have the multi-million-dollar job or not drive the sports car that you think, but he makes you feel the way you should feel. Okay? When you think about manifesting, those of you who have children and those of you who have grandchildren, we manifest for our kids all the time. What do we say? We say we want them to have more than what I had. I want them to have an easier life than what I had. So then you have to teach them to manifest. Instead of saying, oh my God, you're always in trouble. Why do you always do that? You have to build them up. Now, I'm not that person that says kids don't do wrong and you can't ever tell them no. Ask my kids. I tell them no all the time, and they're adults now. But it's instilling that whatever you desire, you can become. Whatever you want to be. you can become. Do you think Madonna, as soon as she was born, she knew she was going to be a superstar? No. She visualized that as she was getting older until it happened. Do you think Wilt Chamberlain, well, he's tall, so I guess it was just kind of presumed that he would be a basketball player. But you know what? It's that putting things into action. You can't be a Neil Peart drummer if you pick the drumsticks up once a month, right? It takes practice. It takes action. And when my youngest daughter, did competitive cheerleading, and she was one of the power tumblers, and it's that they talk about muscle memory. Your body just automatically remembers what to do. Athletes have that. So do we. We have muscle memory. We just automatically know what to do. So change it up a little bit. If you always drive the same way to work all the time and you always get into traffic, take a different route. You may see something that you've been manifesting for a while. If your gut instinct tells you when you're at the red light, I need to turn right even though I always turn left, turn right. Your spirit, your guides are pointing you in the direction that you need to go into. You've got all these kids now. Do you watch Facebook? All these little kids that are playing the drums like crazy and playing the guitar like crazy and just like vroom and just going. As kids, there's no boundaries. We're not taught as a young child what all the world tells us that we can't do. So wouldn't you think it would behoove us, good word, huh, behoove. Wouldn't you think it would behoove us to sometimes think childlike? Bring in your imagination. Because what is your imagination? It's you. When people say, oh my God, they have a vivid imagination, it's not a bad thing. It's still me. It's not something that the universe is just throwing at me that I have no control over. It's still part of me. It's my mind saying, wow, what is the power of if? What if I could do this? My grandson, he wants to be a soldier. He's always said he's going to be a soldier. He wants to be a soldier. And he has he just knows these things. And you put crystals and rocks in front of him, and he just knows it. He just soaks it all up. And he's little, he's not that old, but he just knows that he knows that he knows. There are some people, when I went to school, there were some people that would say, oh, I know exactly what I want to be when I grow up. Well, hell, I didn't know what I wanted to be until I grow up, and I haven't grown up yet. I'm working on what the universe is putting out there for me. I remember probably 20 years ago having a conversation with God saying, show me the path, show me what you want me to do. I always thought that part of my path was helping women of domestic violence. And I helped, and I still do, from time to time. But when I was helping, it's what I felt like I needed to do, but it wasn't my passion of, boom, 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 When I started opening up to spirit, it just started happening. I was able to help people who were grieving find closure, know that they were not alone, know that their loved ones were okay. And when I started being a medium, when I started opening up to the universe and allowing my thoughts to be guided by what the universe was pushing, pulling, tugging me towards, all of a sudden, all that crap, all that baggage that I carried around, all that stuff from my spin cycle, I wouldn't say all, let's just say 90% of it, some of it's still there, left me. Because I was putting my mind in a positive direction, knowing that I was being led by the universe to help others. I always knew I was supposed to help them, didn't know how. And not until I was, 49, 50, about 50 years old, did it actually click with me, and I felt comfortable in my own skin. Sometimes I get a little apprehensive of saying to God or the universe, where do you want me to go now? Because sometimes it's uncomfortable. But once I get past that uncomfortable, because it's not what it's always been, then all of a sudden it's like, oh my gosh, things start to click. So when you look at your spin cycle, I'm going back to the spin cycle, sorry. So when you look at the spin cycle of doing the same thing over and over and over again and getting the same result, you have to look at that What puts me in that spin cycle? I had a hard day. There's the candy. I'm going to eat the candy. I can't lose 5 pounds. Okay, what's causing the stress? You have to go back to what's causing the stress. Well, the stress is my job. Why is the stress your job? Well, the stress is my job because I get up late every morning for work. I have to get all my kids ready. I'm rushing out the door. By the time I get to work, I'm already exhausted. So, what's the solution? You get up earlier. You pre-pack lunches for the kids. You pre-plan what you're going to wear. You visualize today is going to be the best day ever. One of my clients that I have, and this is probably from, 4 or 5 years ago, one of my first clients said to me she changed her whole thought process when every morning she would wake up and she would go, it's going to be the best day ever. And instead of saying hi to her coworkers, you know how you see them and you're like, good morning, she would go, it's going to be the best day ever. And that was how she was able to get it to be the best day ever, by constantly putting that out there and manifesting the best day ever. And if something started to get her bunched up, she would stop and say, you know what? If I let this annoy me, then it's not going to be the best day ever. So she was able to manifest her positive thought into the best day ever. So she saw what her spin cycle was and she changed it. So when you look at your spin cycle, when you take that deep look within yourself where we were talking about get the clear mind, ask, work, see what other people do. Take that look inside yourself and say, what are the things that I don't necessarily like about myself? Okay? And put those into a list. That's a dump list. That's a list that you no longer need. The things that you don't like about yourself. Talking negative to yourself. Being jealous, maybe negative emotions. So put sticky notes up on your mirror that says today's going to be the best day ever. You know, tell yourself, I look good today. We don't get up in the morning and get dressed to go to work to look like crap, right? So you like the way you look when you leave. Your subconscious likes the way you look. So admit to yourself, I look okay today. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. I feel better than I did yesterday, and tomorrow I'll feel better than I did today. When someone says to you, oh, you don't look very well. Are you feeling okay? Yeah, I feel good. And then that thought gets in your head. And then you're like, by the end of the day, you're like, man, maybe I don't feel very good. You're manifesting not feeling well because your mind can bring so many things into fruition that you have to learn to stop it. Don't say, I can't, it won't, I always. Say, I am, it will. I'm working on. I hope today's going to be a good day. You know what? Today is going to be a good day. I'm working on stopping smoking. You know what? I had less cigarettes today than I did yesterday. It's looking at the positive side. My husband used to give me such a rough time about, oh my God, you're so positive. Can't you ever be negative about anything? And trust me, I can be. I don't want to be, though. Why waste time on negative energy? Why not manifest for yourself? And when you're manifesting for yourself, manifest for other people as well. Lifting them up. Talking about how good the day is going to be. Telling them you can do anything that you put your mind to. You just have to manifest. You just need to think about it. You need to put it into action. You can't think about it and then just wait for it to appear. This is not I Dream a Genie. It's not going to just happen. Focus. Put it together. Work on it. Wait for it to come. And have patience. So releasing those negative things that we say. Practicing patience. We all want things to happen yesterday. But when you practice patience, you know what? It didn't come today because I wasn't ready for it. The path is being paved. There's a puzzle piece being missed. There's all different types of cliches that you can tell yourself. But know when you receive it, it will be the exact right time for you. If you are in a bad place right now, You are exactly where you manifested yourself to be. Okay? So manifest yourself out. And I'm not talking about manifesting leukemia or manifesting things like that. I'm saying emotionally, physically, if you're in a bad place in your head, it's because you've manifested it. If you can't keep a job, there's a reason why you can't keep a job. Because you're not manifesting yourself being at this job a year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. You're not visualizing yourself growing within the company. You're not thinking of ideas to make the company bigger, right? So you need to manifest it. Deepak Shakur, he had this, Deepak Chakra. There is this show on Netflix called Heal. And it's a lot of philosophers that talks about how the mind can heal the body. And a woman went in to talk to one of these philosophers who was also a doctor. And she was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to die. I was just diagnosed with cancer. They don't know when, but I'm going to die. I'm going to die. I'm going to die. And he just kind of stopped her and he said, hold on a second. And he left the room. He put on a white coat. He came back in and he said, my name is Dr. So-and-so. And he shook her hand. And what I'm here to tell you is you're not going to die today. Don't let the white coat control your emotions. We all hear people are diagnosed with the exact same disease. One person outlives everything that was going to be said to, or that they said was going to happen to them, where the other person, bam, they don't. It's the mindset. Are you going to give up? Or are you going to fight forward and make things happen? So manifest it. Visualize my body is being healed. Say, today is going to be a good day. Acknowledge, today was a better day than yesterday. It's getting rid of the fear of manifestation. Sometimes we don't manifest because we're afraid of success. Like, oh my gosh, what's going to happen if I'm successful? What's going to happen if people know? Like, I've been a failure all my life. I don't know how to be a success. Break the fear. God wants you to be abundant. Abundant is how you feel about yourself. Abundance is what you contribute to the universe. Abundance is what you contribute to friends and family. And abundance is also what you receive from the universe. So instead of being afraid to succeed, use my grandmother's saying and say, hide and see. Watch me. Somebody says, you decide you want to do something and someone says to you, you can't do that. You're never going to do it. There are some people that are just like, yeah, you watch me. It's almost like that double dog dare. You don't think I can do it? Watch me do it. That's the mindset that you have to have when you are manifesting things. It's taking that deep look within yourself. If you're not living the life you love and loving the life you live, you're the only one that can change it. I say that on my Vibe Tribe every day. And it's true. You can dig yourself out. It just flashed through my head and I can't think what it's called now. But there was a movie that Will Smith was in about a man who was homeless and he ended up being in the stock exchange. He visualized it. He worked towards it. He made it so. And you can do it too. It's focus, journal, meditate, journal, visualize, journal, have faith, journal, action, journal. It's that law of attraction. You will receive. That's how you manifest. And a lot of spiritual leaders, they throw that word around a lot. Intention and manifest. I say it a lot because they are very strong words. You manifest within yourself that love, that emotions, that abundance, that caring, that receiving. But you only can receive it if you set the intention. You line your mouth up with what you want. And that's how it comes through. And when I talk about, after every one that I said about journaling, because it's that validation. When you journal, when you write your very first thing down of how you want to manifest and what your game plan is, and 3 days down the road something happens that triggers, oh, this was part of what I manifested, and you write it down, there's that validation. So if you're having a bad day 6-8 months later, and because this thing that you've been manifesting hasn't happened yet, you go back to your handy dandy notebook, like Blue's Clues, like your journal, and you say, oh man, this is where I started. This happened. This happened. This happened. It's coming. I feel it. And you continue to ask for it. You continue to pray about it. Sometimes you need to change the path a little bit. Sometimes you need to change your focus a little bit because, you say, well, I'm hoping within 5 years this is what my game plan is, or this is what my outcome is. See how you threw that little word hope in there? All of a sudden, you told the universe you don't have faith. You have to say, in 5 years, here's where I'm going to be. I can see it. I can visualize it. I know it's going to be so. And so it is, and so it shall be. I am doing, I am receiving, I am focusing, I am manifesting. It's bringing I am into it. Me, creator, I am. Right? Make sense? So, questions. I was hoping to have some people call in. I was so excited about talking about manifesting because I have seen so many things just in my own life like materialize. My daughter, just last night, she's been driving my mom's car for like 7 years, and her intention was to get a new car in January. Okay? January. It's December 10th. Car died 2 days ago. Like, really died. So, she wanted to go and look for a car. She knew what kind of car she wanted. She knew about how much money she wanted to spend. And she knew what her payments in her budget needed to be. So she and I went out and we looked at 2 car lots. The first car lot we went into, it was the car she wanted under the amount of money that she wanted. So first time financer, So never been financed. So we go over to a car dealership, and there was a car that she liked. She test drove, but she didn't love it. She's like, I just really need to go back and drive this other car. I visualize myself in this car. Like, this is my car. So we went back over to the other dealership. It was a used car dealership. And we went in, and there were 2 cars she wanted to see. And he's like, which one do you want to drive first? And she's like, I want to drive the Subaru first. That's the one that she had visualized herself in, this Subaru wagon. She has dogs. She's a vet tech. She's visualizing. So we took it out for a drive, and we come back, and he said, okay, well, let me just change the tags on the car, and you can drive the other one. She goes, I don't even want to drive the other one. Like, this is my car. I'm comfortable in it. This is the car I saw when I was setting my intentions. It's under the amount of money. We're good. So we go in to do all the financing, and because she's a first-time person to be financed, they needed $1,300 down. She didn't have $1,300 down. How much do you have down? I don't know. Because, young kid. So I said to her, you know what? You might just have to drive my vehicle for a month. And, you already had it in plan for next month. That's, only a couple days away. And the finance guy was just, overhearing. He goes, look, let me try something. So he ended up jiggling some numbers. And I know how the finance things are, whatever. But I know because of what she manifested that she received exactly what she needed. So she was able to get the car she wanted. She didn't want to go over $300 a month. He made it at $290 a month. And she had $300 to put in. He was able to finagle it to make it work for her. She manifested like she knew. I want this Subaru car under $12,000, under $300 a month. And she got it. She manifested it. She saw the car. She either wanted it in blue or green. It was in blue. So she's already saw it. She knew it. She believed it was going to happen. And it happened. So that's what manifesting is. And it's what you need. It's not, oh, I'm going to manifest a Lamborghini. I mean, you can. But she didn't have a vehicle. She needed to get back and forth to work. She asked the universe. She knew it was going to happen. And it happened. That's where it's at. You receive what you need when you need it. So it's focusing on, what does my heart desire? What can I contribute to the universe? Journal it. Meditate on it. Ask the universe. Ask advice. Set it in place in your meditation at the end of your meditation. And so it is, and so it shall be. Visualize yourself doing it without fear. You have to drop the fear. Go boldly. Have confidence. Like, this is what I'm meant to do. Whoever thought that I would be sitting in front of a TV camera talking about spiritualism? Whoever thought I would be a medium? I mean, the thought of when I was a kid, it freaked me out. I swear, I thought Barnabas Collins lived in my attic. I was afraid of my own freaking shadow. And now I talk to the dead all the time. Now, having said that, if any one of them ever said to me, get out, I'm out. Because that freaks me out. But it's visualizing. I can see what I'm supposed to do. And I journal it. She believed in herself. It's having faith. I know I'm protected. I know God has a better plan for me than I could ever have. If you want to know if God has a good sense of humor, tell him what you plan to do. He'll let you know right away if that's the right thing to do or not. It's having faith to know what you need will be given to you when you need it. But it's also making an action plan. You just can't sit by and hope for it to come. You can't say, oh, I'm looking for a job, but not filling out an application, or not showing up for the interview, or not going to work. You know what I mean? It's that action plan. It's keeping your vibration high. Getting rid of the negative talk. I never. I can't. I won't. It'll never. It will if you manifest it. I'm trying to think of another word for it. But you can unleash these thoughts and these dreams and put them into action and have it happen. It's that law of attraction. You will receive what you get back, or you will get back what, how is that? You get back what you give out. So it's karma. So if you're a nasty person to everybody, you're going to have nasty people around you. You need to manifest a good tribe around you. Those who are going to lift you up. Treat others the way you want to be treated. Visualize yourself out of debt. Don't concentrate on the word debt. Concentrate on the word abundance, right? Change your mindset. So focus, meditate, visualize, have faith, action, vibration high. It's that law of attraction that you will receive. And that, my friends, is manifesting. So, as you can see, I have so much passion about manifesting. I do a vibe tribe just about every morning on my Facebook because I was so tired of people putting such garbage on their Facebook, such negative crap, that I was like, no, let's talk about the good things. Yes, there's traffic. There's always traffic, especially if you're in this area here, 495, 90, there's going to be traffic. But here's the key. The traffic is that you're in, you didn't cause. The accident, that's the person you need to be concerned about. And you need to manifest health and healing to them. Okay? So, one more time. Focus, meditate, journal between each one of them. Visualize, have faith, put the action plan in, keep your vibration high. It's that law of attraction. You will receive it when it is your time in the exact moment. And that is how you manifest. I hope I was able to give you some ideas about manifesting, knowing that you can turn your life around if you're stuck. To live the life you love, and love the life you live, you're the only one that can change it. It's not going to just automatically happen for you. These are your steps. Manifest it. Change the way you think. Change the way you talk. Change the way you feel about yourself. Know that you are worthy to accept, to receive those things that you desire in life, because God will give them to you. And He is just a whisper away. So manifest, receive. Friends, I don't know what else to say. My time is up. I look forward to this every week. I will be on next Tuesday at 10:30. If you have a particular topic that you would like me to talk about, please put it in the comments. I would love to hear from you. If you're interested in connecting to one of your loved ones and you're interested in a reading, reach out. I do also do groups where I will come to you. But manifest. You deserve it. So today and every day, I pray that you're living the life you love. You're loving the life you live. If not, change it. Peace out, and I will talk to you next week. Have a marvelous week. It's going to be the best day ever. Goodbye.
If you're a product of the 60s, 70s, and 80s, or wish that you were, then you'll want to step inside Hip Gypsy Emporium for a trip back in time. We're a kindred spirits treasure trove located in the former Duffield School in Chambersburg. We offer home, garden, and vintage clothing and jewelry, soaps and fragrances, teas and honeys, oils and crystals, products from local vendors and artisans, and Christmas items 365 days a year. Hip Gypsy Emporium, located at 2168 Mont Alto Road in Chambersburg.